Hello, this is Tech Teachers. Today we'll be discussing SketchUp and episode 4 on this channel. So basically, just want to get rid of that dude. You want to start off with the base. Make that however you want. And then use the push/pull tool. Drag that as how you want. Then you take one corner, another, the line tool, and then find the midpoint. Drag that into the air as high as you want, and then drag that to the four corners. You want to make sure it actually ends up on the four corners, or your roof will look kind of wacky. Then you want to make a door. And then you can make a window. You can make this window anywhere, and then you can use the move tool, which is this tool right here, and drag that anywhere you want. Doesn't really matter. But then to like add detail and like other things, oh wait, not tool. You can go to the rectangle tool, and the push/pull tool, drag that out to make a bush, which isn't really a bush right now because we haven't gotten to the material. It's kind of wonky, but I can use the move tool in a second. Now it's somewhat in the middle. Then you can add a back door and another bush if you want. The door doesn't really have to be even because it's just a sketch. Then you can make this trail right here, which can lead to another house if you want, but to start with off, to make the house, you want to make sure that it's even with the trail, and make sure it's not going up. Make that as big as you want, I don't really care how big it is. And then, also as high as you want. We can erase this later. You want to make sure that the roof is even so it doesn't look bad. And then to connect the roof, you want to make one final line at the top, like that. Then you can take the midpoint or any point on this line to make that door. And you erase that. We can make an attic if you really want to, or an attic window. I want to make sure that that line is even. Then we can take the move tool, drag that anywhere. Then we can add another bush. Oh wait. Picked the wrong tool there. Need to erase this line. And if this happens, just take the rectangle tool, connect the two opposite corners, make a wall. Just a sketch, so it doesn't really matter if it's bolded line, which means it's uneven. But you want to take the rectangle tool, make a bush, or a rectangular prism, and then you can make a window on top of this rectangular prism. Doesn't really matter where it starts because you can use the move tool to widen it and move. You can also do this again on the other side. But the bush doesn't really need to be that long. And then if this does not look centered to you, stretch it out till where it does. You want to make sure that you click it so that you drag wherever you want. We're not going to make another bush. Oh, dang. We're not going to make another bush, but we do need to discuss the circle, which is in this section. You do want to make sure that the circle's radius is even, or it'll turn out really weird. You can go down here and you can usually edit this, but you can't right now for some reason. Then you can stretch this out. That doesn't really need to be even because it's just the height. Then you take the 2-point arc, stretch that from one side. Then you want to make a half circle. Oh wait. Half circle. And this is what will happen if the circle's radius is not even. You'll end up making a circle, and it'll be looking like this. Have a bunch of lines. The moving. And then once you finish your sketch, you can go to paint bucket tool, and then you go over to the right side where it has the materials. And then you can take translucent glass, any glass on here really. Click your window. Then once you've done that, you can go over to like the brick and cladding, siding. And you can go to the brick antique, you can go to anything on here really. Doesn't really matter which one it is. Then make that your walls, it doesn't really matter. Then you can go over to landscaping, and you can choose one of these vegetation, like grass, colors that you want to make your bush out of. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. Like, for example, then you can go over to whatever you want, or the roofing section. Pick one of the roofs and then click on the roof. that you want to be that material. Then you can go over to like whatever you want for the door. It doesn't really matter. You can even go to the colors named. It doesn't really make a difference. Make this door pink if you really wanted to. It doesn't change anything. Then once you've done that, you can go over to the cylinder, and you can do like anything you want here. Any material that you want this cylinder to be. It can be glass, it can be colors, it can be asphalt, it can be metal. I'm going to choose metal right now. And then you can go to any one of these, click the material you want, and then if you click this cylinder, it'll only do, or actually it'll do the whole thing. Unless you have a line down the center of the original circle. And you can change this. That'll only do half because it's a line going down the center. And then if you really want to, you can zoom inside of the house and change any of the materials of the walls inside this house. See how it's all gray? You can change this to metal if you wanted to. It does not really matter. But if you do try and click it through the window, it won't work. You can see the grass on the other side because I placed the floor or that wall really weird. And that's all that you really need to do with SketchUp. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.